It all started on a sunny Saturday afternoon. The Smith family was gathered for a casual lunch at their sprawling suburban home. Laughter filled the air, the aroma of roast chicken and mashed potatoes lingering. But the mood was about to shift. Emily, my daughter, had just returned from her business trip abroad and brought with her some surprising news. She had gotten married, but it wasn't the kind of wedding story that would have made my husband and me beam with pride. Her husband, Mark, worked as a dishwasher at a local restaurant, a humble job that, frankly, didn't sit well with my son, Jason. Jason, ever confident and outspoken, could not resist the urge to voice his opinion. "Wait, you married a dishwasher? Seriously, Emily?" Jason blurted out, smirking. His words hung in the air, cutting sharper than a knife. Emily's smile faltered, her eyes clouded with hurt. "Yes, Jason, Mark is kind, hardworking, and he makes me happy. Isn't that what matters?" But Jason wasn't done. "Happy? Honey, he cleans plates for a living. You could have married someone with, I don't know, status." He chuckled at his own joke, oblivious to the tension he was stirring. I tried to intervene. "Jason, that's enough. Remember, respect is important." But Jason waved me off. Teenagers often think they know everything, and my son was no exception. Mark, calm and composed, remained seated. He didn't argue or raise his voice. Instead, he smiled politely and said, "I understand why you feel that way. Jason, I just hope I can show you that I'm more than my job." But Jason just laughed, leaning back in his chair, clearly dismissive. "Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe you'll wash a few dishes really fast and climb the ladder to dishwasher manager." Emily's eyes welled up with tears. I felt my heart ache. She looked at Mark, clearly trying to hold back her frustration. "Jason, stop it." "You don't know him. Just give him a chance." Jason scoffed. "Chance?" I gave him a chance the second he said I'm a dishwasher. The tension was palpable. Mark stayed composed, but I could see the subtle hurt in his eyes. He didn't retaliate, and somehow that made him seem even stronger. I realized this was not a man who would let insults define him. Little did we know, the very moment Jason mocked Mark would set off a chain of events that none of us could have imagined. 2 weeks later, life took an unexpected turn. Jason's arrogance had not gone unnoticed by fate. It all started at school when he received an email from an unknown address. At first, he ignored it, thinking it was spam. But the subject line caught his attention. A message from Mark, for Jason. Curious, he opened it. His eyes widened as he read Mark's words. "Jason, I know you don't think highly of me because of my job. That's okay. But I want you to know sometimes the world surprises you. Please meet me at the restaurant tomorrow evening. Mark." Jason rolled his eyes. Why would I meet him? He's just a dishwasher. Yet something tugged at him, maybe curiosity, maybe arrogance. The next evening, Jason reluctantly walked into the small, bustling restaurant where Mark worked. He expected nothing but soap, suds, and greasy plates. What he got was completely different. Mark wasn't just washing dishes. He was running the back of the restaurant like a well-oiled machine. Orders came in and Mark coordinated the kitchen with precision. He even suggested a few operational improvements to the manager, who nodded with approval. Jason watched, stunned. "What? How are you doing all this?" Jason asked, disbelief in his voice. Mark smiled calmly. "Hard work, Jason. Skills aren't defined by the title you have. They're defined by what you can do." As if to drive the point home, the manager approached. "Mark, the CEO of Swift Tech Group wants to meet you tomorrow. They're expanding their corporate dining services and want your input." Jason nearly choked. The dishwasher he mocked was about to meet a CEO. His mouth went dry. "Wait, the CEO? The CEO wants him?" "Yes," Mark replied simply, polishing a plate with the same calm demeanor that had unnerved Jason from the start. Over the next few days, news started trickling in. Mark's dedication, ingenuity, and leadership skills had caught the attention of high-level executives. Jason, who had thought he was superior, suddenly realized he had been judgmental and short-sighted. At home, he couldn't hide his embarrassment. Emily noticed it immediately. "Jason, something happened at the restaurant?" Jason hesitated but eventually admitted everything. I didn't believe it. But Mark, he's incredible. The CEO actually called him." Emily laughed softly but with a hint of vindication. "You see, Jason? Sometimes what you see on the surface doesn't tell the whole story." Jason learned a hard lesson. Humility and respect cannot be replaced by arrogance or social status. But little did he know, Mark's meeting with the CEO would soon change all of our lives in ways we never imagined. The day of the CEO meeting arrived, and the tension in our household was palpable. Emily and I waited anxiously for news, while Jason couldn't stop pacing, both anxious and secretly proud of Mark. Mark walked into the Swift Tech headquarters with quiet confidence. He presented ideas, plans, and even innovative strategies for corporate catering that left the CEO impressed. Within an hour, he had not only secured a lucrative contract for the restaurant but had been offered a position as corporate dining manager, overseeing multiple high-profile client accounts. When Jason heard the news over the phone, he felt a mix of shock, awe, and humility. The dishwasher he mocked was now in a position of power and influence. Someone Jason could never have imagined. The lesson hit him hard. Jason called Emily that evening. I was wrong, Mark. He's amazing. I judged him too quickly. I'm sorry. Emily smiled warmly. It's okay, Jason. What matters is that you've learned. Mark isn't just a husband. He's a role model. I realized that Mark's humility, dedication, and kindness had taught my family an invaluable lesson. Life doesn't care about status, age, or appearances. It rewards those who work hard, stay humble, and remain patient. The following months brought immense changes. Jason, inspired by Mark's story, started volunteering at local community centers, helping kids learn practical skills and fostering respect for all professions. Emily and Mark's marriage grew stronger, with Mark now respected not just for his position but for the person he was. One day Jason came home from school and said quietly, "Mom, I think I understand now. You don't have to be rich or famous to be successful. You just have to be good and work hard." I smiled, tears welling up. The boy who mocked a dishwasher had become a young man who valued integrity, humility, and perseverance. Mark, meanwhile, continued to excel. The CEO kept him closely involved in multiple projects, and his story spread across social media, inspiring countless people to stop judging others by appearances or job titles. At a family dinner, Jason raised a glass to Mark, the man who taught me more in a few weeks than I've learned in years. Mark laughed softly. "Thank you, Jason. I'm glad you finally see things clearly." In the end, what began as mockery turned into respect, admiration, and life-changing opportunities. Our family learned a timeless truth: never underestimate someone, and never let arrogance blind you from seeing true potential. And so the dishwasher